Hey everyone, it's time for my November book haul. This month we're going to split it into two parts. First I'll go through all the horror, science fiction, fantasy, thriller type stuff that I got. And then in a couple weeks' time I'll go through my westerns, men's adventure, spy, and crime. Alright, let's get to it. Starting off with the standards, the authors everyone has. I've got Misery by Stephen King. Dean Koontz, One Door Away from Heaven. That's entirely too big for a Dean Koontz novel. This is Dean Koontz, but it's under a pseudonym. The Eyes of Darkness by Lee Nichols. Some step back art. The Dean Koontz Companion, edited by Martin Greenberg, Ed Gorman, and Bill Munster. This has some essays and short stories by him, I think. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I am actually kind of interested in some of his essays. Interesting. Sean Hudson, Stolen Angels. Sean Hudson, Heathen. John Saul, Brainchild. I already have a copy of this, but it was 50 cents. So why not? Starting to get into the less common authors here. Tim Leben, The Everlasting. Don't think I had anything by Tim Leben. The Killing Gift by Barry Wood. Yeah, really happy to find some Barry Wood. Bentley Little, The Haunted. For a really long time, I couldn't find any Bentley Little. And recently I found some. So that's good. I was starting to think it'd be impossible. Ramsey Campbell, Cold Print. Another author I've kind of had difficulty finding. This is short stories. Hang on. There we go. Apparently these are kind of Lovecraftian. Awesome. G.M. Haig, Ghost Beyond Earth. This is one that I also had, but this edition is so much cooler. It's got great artwork. And it looks almost unread. G.M. Haig's an Australian author, so I should really check him out. Graham Masterton, The House That Jack Built. Night Terrors, edited by Charles L. Grant, which features stories by David Morrell, Joseph Payne Brennan, and Carl Edward Wagner. Now, I've heard of Morrell and Wagner, but I don't know Joseph Payne Brennan. Let's have a look. Cool. Got a very beat up young adult novel here. The Waitress by Sinclair Smith. Gonna have to see if I can clean this up a bit. The food is great. The service is deadly. Alright. I'm not sure how horror this one will be. Horror adjacent, maybe? It's a gothic. Tough to find gothics over here. Wilkie Collins, The Yellow Mask. Oh, Masterpieces. Maybe this is short stories. There we go. Yeah, it looks like 3 fairly long short stories. Yeah, really happy to find this. This is a modern edition, but it's a old classic author. Ancient Sorceries by Algernon Blackwood. I think these are his occult detective ones. There's the stories. Yeah, Dr. John Silence. Occult detective, yep. Someone's bought that at the start of this year, and then I've picked it up for $1. Crazy. Awesome. More Tales to Tremble by. Cool wraparound art. Whitman Books. Now this looks like a kid's book. This is kind of packaged like a kid's book, but wouldn't these be quite adult stories? William Hope Hodgson, August Derleth. Yeah, interesting. And I guess this is horror adjacent kind of stuff, but we're probably getting into suspense and thrillers. I've got a few of these Alfred Hitchcock anthologies. Stories Not for the Nervous, Part 2. Richard Matheson, and I think they've spelled his name wrong there, right? Don't think it usually has that I in it. Don't think I really know the rest of these authors. Robert Arthur is the one who put together a lot of these books, and of course he put his own stories in. Alfred Hitchcock presents Bar the Doors, 13 Great Tales of Terror. Don't Anybody Move. These books always show how badly read I am, because I know about 2 or 3 of the names usually. H.G. Wells, August Derleth, Ambrose Bierce, and yeah, that's it. This one looks aimed at younger readers. Alfred Hitchcock's Ghostly Gallery. I know a few more this time. Algernon Blackwood, H.G. Wells, Henry Kuttner, Lord Dunsany, Robert Louis Stevenson. Cool. Let's see. I won't go to science fiction just yet. Let's do a few adventure thriller type things. Lost Horizon by James Hilton. Now, I don't really know what this is. The great cover caught my eye. And this also caught my eye, with the compliments of Shangri-La Hotel. So you got a free book if you stayed there. Shangri-La, Singapore. Interesting oddity. I've never seen a complimentary hotel book before. I don't know, was that a common thing? It's Pan, so they must have had some sort of agreement with the hotel. Weird. Hammond Innes, The Strode Venturer. I grabbed this one just because it was a 3 books for $1 kind of deal, and I had 2 books. I don't know, has anyone read Hammond Innes? What's he like? I'm under the assumption that it's kind of like Alistair MacLean, but I don't really know. This one I got for the cover alone. Elliston Trevor, The Pillars of Midnight. That's cool. Smallpox epidemic. Yeah, disaster thriller, presumably. Nice and short too. The Jakarta Plot by R. Carl Largent. I'm trying to find this author's horror stuff, but I keep finding his techno thrillers. Let's see, getting into kind of miscellaneous drama type stuff. Midnight Cowboy by James Leo Herlihy. I probably didn't pronounce that right. Cool movie tie-in. I saw this movie probably over a decade ago. I don't really remember it very well. I did like it though. Mark Alden, Gossip. This looks like a trashy drama. Mark Alden wrote a bunch of samurai stuff. This looks like Jackie Collins or Jekyll and Suzanne or something. Intrigue and revenge in the vicious, glamorous world of the newspaper scandalmongers. Sounds juicy. We've got one crank novel. Lobsang Rampa, Doctor from Lhasa. This is the phony Tibetan monk guy. Mortal man can discipline his mind and body to survive starvation and torture. Sounds useful. All right, we're almost done. Getting into the science fiction and fantasy now. Here's a big one. It's Children of Dune by Frank Herbert. Now I'm missing the second one, I think. Oh, cool wraparound. The art on these is great. Yep. Joe Haldeman, The Forever War. I think this one's supposed to be a real classic. Orbit 2, edited by Damon Knight. Yeah, a few authors I want to check out. Kate Wilhelm, Gene Wolfe, Joanna Russ, Brian Aldiss. Yeah, looks great. Illuminatus Part 1, The Eye in the Pyramid by Robert Shea and Robert Anton Wilson. This is an extremely beat up copy. Oh, Saul Goodman. I didn't realize. Is that a coincidence or is that a reference? Now, this is a cult classic, but I was kind of reading about it, and maybe it might be the kind of thing that annoys me. I'll give it a chance, but maybe I'll just pass it on. We'll see. Maybe this is more up my alley. It's Cap Kennedy #2, Slave Ship from Surgan by Gregory Kern. Nice old door book. Cap Kennedy #10, Planet of Dread, also by Gregory Kern. Yep, looks silly. The Heirs of Earth by Brian Aldiss. There's the contents. Yep. Lean Times in Lankmar by Fritz Leiber. This is like an omnibus type thing. Swords in the Mist and Swords Against Wizardry. I think those are supposed to be two real classics. Farewell to Lankmar by Fritz Leiber. Now, are these short stories again, or is this more like a full novel this time? I have no idea. All right. Last thing I've got for today is a bunch of Michael Moorcock omnibuses. So, Volume 6, A Nomad of the Time Streams. Now, I was going to read out all these titles that is included in each omnibus, But you guys can read for yourselves. Yep. Volume 9, The New Nature of the Catastrophe, edited by Langdon Jones and Michael Moorcock. Now this has short stories by people. Let's have a look. Yeah, a couple names I'm familiar with. Brian Aldiss, Norman Spinrad. Not so much with some of these other names. All right. The Prince with the Silver Hand, which is volume 10, includes these stories. Cool. Legends from the End of Time, which is volume 11, and contains these stories. Some Elric. All right. And last one, Stormbringer, which is volume 12 and has a lot of stories in it and is extremely thick. All right. That's enough Michael Moorcock to last me a long time. All right. In 2 weeks, I'm going to post the second part of my haul, which will include a ton of vintage, spy, crime, men's adventure, westerns, all that sort of stuff. Really looking forward to that. All right. Thanks for watching. See you later.